Hello and welcome to another update video about the ADA chart. Today we have to expect a lot of volatility in the market. What we see today is on the ADA chart still ongoing sideways action, but slight upside just as I record this video. Now micro price action can always change quickly, so it might have already moved on. My goal here today is to highlight the key levels to you so that you know what is going on, even if certain levels are broken. Important is to understand that we're still tracking an overall potentially bullish outcome, even though it's not very, very clear because probabilities are balanced. We can see that due to the structures that have developed, okay? So just another explanation here about the structures. The move up from the 3rd of February low here is only a 3-wave move to the upside. It is not clearly bullish. Had this move up been a 5-wave move up, it would be more clearly bullish. Then a 3-wave pullback occurred. We're labeling this as a 1-2 setup in the bullish scenario. And then the 3rd wave to the upside is unfolding now, but because of all the subwave structures that are 3-wave movements, we have to consider this 3rd wave also as an A, B, C structure. And it is possible that at the moment we are starting a C wave to the upside. If that's the case, where should it take us to? Well, it's quite easy. We measure the length of the A wave in yellow. We go to the low of the B wave, and the 100% extension is pretty much where the label is located at $1.31. This is the so-called A equals C target, and the A wave as well as the C wave, they often have the same length. In this case, it would be $1.31. However, there is another scenario that is very, very likely, which is this triangle pattern that I am tracking. And basically, it takes a rally above $1.08 to allow me to clearly favor the yellow scenario, because in the white scenario, we see a little bit more sideways price action. It is not really different from the yellow scenario, but let me explain the white scenario to you. While in the yellow scenario, a larger degree correction finished on the 3rd of February, this correction is still unfolding technically in the white scenario. And here we're tracking a so-called A wave, a B wave, a C wave, a D wave, and an E wave. So this makes it look like a triangle pattern. And this is a pattern that I find quite likely here, even though I have to say with triangles, I have to remind you, triangle patterns rarely form properly. So they often break before, which is why it makes sense to have an alternative scenario like the yellow scenario, okay? At least they are both likely. And interestingly, in both scenarios, the price should hold above the 3rd of February low that formed at 51 cents for this scenario to remain valid and likely, okay? Now, ideally, the price even holds above the 11th of March low, which formed here at 64.4 cents. So this is the nearest key level that we can watch and against which we could focus on higher prices. So it is possible that even in the white scenario, we're never going to break below that level anymore. Okay, if we do, it's not necessarily a problem. The idea is currently in the triangle, which is always a 5-wave move, A, B, C, D, E, that the C wave already bottomed. Any break below it would just mean that the C wave is extending. That is valid, okay? But I have to say, this move down already looks like a completed 3-wave move, and a C wave in a triangle is always a 3-wave move, so it's possible. It's bottomed. That is why against that level, we can watch if the D wave to the upside is unfolding. The D wave is also a 3-wave move, as you can see it here. And I've shown a rough sketch of what the micro price structure could look like, but this is not reliable. So just a roadmap that allows us to understand how the move into this blue target zone could look like. Target here, 88.5 to $1.08, so 88.5 cents to $1.08 for the D wave. That's a very common target range here between the 38.2 Fibonacci extension and the 61.8 Fibonacci extension, which means that overall we have to expect some further sideways price action, but we can focus on higher against the 3rd of February low. Any break below this level would likely shift the focus back to the August lows of last year, around 30 cents. That's the update about ADA. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much.